That was Bob Dylan, Meet Me in the Morning from Blood on the Tracks. I'm Jeff, today's GOAT DJ. We'd like to thank Heller and Thien Law Firm, Lily's Wings, Burgers and Things for helping to keep the goat herd.
Okay, Jeff, there you go. Big improvement. You went from a B- to an A- right there.
Hey, always a strive for excellence, right?
But I love your information and your stories. You're doing a great job. Thanks for being here. What do you do in, like, your real life?
I work in purchasing. I'm a commodity manager for Arctic Cat. We have an engine plant on Highway 94 and Opportunity Drive where we make a variety of engines for snowmobiles and our ATV and UTV products.
Okay, well stated. I think you've probably done that before.
I could give you the elevator speech, but I'm not looking for another job at this time, and I don't have an updated resume, so that's not necessary.
I made a snarky comment about the weather, clinging to the last vapors of fall time, and you're like, bring it on, man. Let's get some snow going.
Snow, manna from heaven for us.
For you, absolutely. Arctic Cat, that's my favorite name for a snowmobile.
It is a great name. Most people screw it up and forget it is Arctic, like the Arctic Circle.
Right. Let's backtrack to Bob Dylan. Of course, if we're going to play some sets that include Minnesota artists, we're not going to play Prince because it just doesn't fit within our wheelhouse. But Bob Dylan's got to be there. And we decided on that one to make fun of him a little bit because the song has a Minnesota connection in that he references the location 56th and Wabasha. And if you've ever spent time in St. Paul, Wabasha is one of the main streets in the downtown area. However, I was disappointed to learn that 56th and Wabasha does not exist.
It must have fit in well with the lyrical rhyme or the...
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I don't know. There is a great box set. I've heard it's great. I haven't heard it, but it's called More Blood, More Tracks. And it features the outtakes of the making of that album. And you might know that Dylan set down the fundamental tracks in New York City, but then came back to Minneapolis and worked with Minneapolis musicians to create most of what ended up on the album. So that album, more so than any other in the Bob Dylan catalog, Blood on the Tracks, one of his best, it was really his Minnesota album.
I actually saw the first concert ever at the Metrodome. I had forgotten about this. And it featured Bob Dylan as a headliner. It had the Grateful Dead, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, Bob Dylan, and Bob Dylan's backup band was Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. First concert ever at the Metrodome. Terrible concert because they didn't know how to run the acoustics at the time.
Right.
And it had so much promise. So it was disappointing with that lineup that you literally couldn't distinguish a single note or lyric.
Sure. Well, it was a big bubble.
Exactly.
And remember when they built it and then it snowed? Like, who would have expected that and then it collapsed? Those were the days. All right, we have one more set to work with. What are we going into? It's the Paul Butterfield Blues Band. And people are going to say, well, why? We'll tell you in just a couple minutes here on the GoatCast DJ program.
I look down on my shoes. Well, I had those need a walking blues. Some people tell me that word blues is bad. It's the worst feeling I ever had. People tell me that word blues ain't bad.
Album Rock, WXYG The Goat, Paul Butterfield Blues Band with a blues standard called Walkin' Blues. Paul Butterfield in his time was probably acclaimed as the best harmonica player in the rock world. But why did we play that, Jeff? As we're paying tribute to Minnesota artists, what's the connection there?
Strangely enough, the keyboard player, a gentleman named Mark Naftalin, was on the keys for the Paul Butterfield Blues Band, and because of that association, is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah, with Paul Butterfield Blues Band.
Exactly.
And he's from Minnesota.
Correct.
All right. We're going to keep this one short because we only have so much time, and this next track is extended. The other emphasis of the playlist that we're putting together is live music, and Jeff has been telling some stories of favorite concert experiences along the way. He's seen, how many concerts have you seen altogether?
Over 250.
Yeah, great. I don't think I could top that, and I've had the privilege of working in radio, around about that number. So we're going to now take a track from Leon Russell, who is so great, and it's from the Concerts for Bangladesh, organized, of course, by George Harrison, featuring Bob Dylan was there. Eric Clapton, Ringo Starr was there. Leon Russell might have taken second-tier status on the poster, but he knocked it out of the park with this one.
It's a great song. There's several versions out there of it. Of course, Peter Frampton did it on Peter Frampton Comes Alive. You had a version that was done by Johnny Winter. And there's a local band named First Circle that I happen to be in, and this is one of our favorite songs to play.
I see. Well, so it's Jumpin' Jack Flash, but it also goes into Youngblood, and we play Bad Company. I can't remember right now who does that first. Who was the original on Youngblood?
I don't recall either.
Well, we can't be right every time. Anyway, here's Leon Russell. This is fantastic. From the Concert for Bangladesh, Jumpin' Jack Flash into Youngblood on the Goat. Let's look that up.
just sometimes you just don't treat me right. And I woke up this morning and I looked her in the eye. She said, sweet daddy, you got what I want, but you ain't giving it to me. Oh, and it hurt me deep down into my soul, and I had to walk on out the door. I was crying in my heart, I didn't know if I was gonna ever see my baby no more. I went walking down the street, and I was ashamed to look at anyone I meet. Oh, all at once a blinding light flashed in my eyes, and there she was standing, leaning up against the lamppost.
Well, tell it, tell it.
I saw her standing on the corner. Ain't never care. All at once my heart just stuttered. Look at there. Yeah. Look at there.
Girl, can you do it?
You're the one.
Tell it what?
You're the one.
And you better believe my daughter alone. I couldn't sleep away from crying. And I thought about another song. All night long my heart was crying. You're the one.
The one.
Tell it what?
You're the one.
Keep on singing the song. Oh, and I looked at that 19-year-old girl right in the eye and I said, you look so sweet to me, darling, but there's one thing I gotta tell you. You done got me a fine old lady laying back there in that bedroom at home, and I think I gotta get back to her. Oh, she winked at me, she smiled at me, she said, yes, Daddy, I understand. I walked on down the street back to my pad. And I crawled and I snuck and I crawled back in the bedroom. My baby looked at me with a great big blue bedroom eyes and she said, oh, Daddy, now where you been all night long? Did I know I told you to get away from me? I told you to leave me alone. Oh, but I had a change of heart and I've been needing you all night long. You said I've been needing a good thing. I ain't had none of the good things. Yet I looked at my baby and I said, baby, I said, what is it that I got that you want? Yeah. She looked at me and she said, real slow, real soft, real sweet. She said this right here. woman they love. Sometimes the things they just don't go right. But I want to tell you one thing, and it's for sure. If you treat your woman like you treat yourself, everything is going to be all right. It's going to be all right. Yeah, they're going to be all right now.
Album rock, WXYG The Goat. The crowd going wild, rightly so, for Leon Russell from the Concert for Bangladesh. Jumping down, Jack Flash medley, incorporating the song Young Blood. And I had Jeff look up the original recording of Young Blood, and who was it, Jeff?
The Coasters.
Yeah, okay. You can kind of hear that in your mind. The version that most guys of our generation and taste would know is Bad Company. But Paul Rogers was a big R&B fan, so that adds up.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Well, Jeff, unfortunately, we have come just about to the end of our time. We have one more song by Rush. We wanted to make sure that we played some Rush, but you've done a great job.
Thank you.
Really fantastic. I'm so impressed by your knowledge, but especially your enthusiasm, your passion for music, and just the energy that you brought to the show. You're one of my favorite guests.
Thank you,
And I usually say that to only everyone.
everyone. I've heard it every time.
You really did do a great job. Thank you. And you're wearing a GOAT t-shirt, so
Of course.
it's fantastic. Hope I see you again soon. You did want to, as far as seeing you soon, you want to promote a gig that your band is doing?
Sure, we're going to be at Raleigh's on the 24th of November. That's a Sunday night. Come on out with the family and the kids, have dinner, 6 to 9 dinner show, and then we'll be later in December at Stoney's Badass Biker Bar in Rockville, Minnesota. Rockin' Rockville.
They actually, is Badass on the sign?
That is the name of the bar, Stoney's Badass Biker Bar.
Well, then we can say it on the radio.
Of course we can.
Let's say it one more time.
Stoney's Badass Biker Bar. Hi to Cheetos, who runs Stoney's. Great guy.
All right.
Promotes live music in the area.
Fantastic. We're going to hear the spirit of radio. I don't know, say just a couple of words about your love for Rush.
I'm a Rush geek. Sorry. I've seen Rush 9 times in concert. Once saw it at Alpine Valley, and love the band. Was really sorry to see them break up, or I should say call it a career and retire. But this is just such a classic radio song, and I can remember when it came out, listening to it in the morning as my morning wake-up song, getting up and going to school or going to work.
I would pride myself, if I can, in being that friendly voice, a companion, unobtrusive.
And that you are.
Thanks, Jeff. Thanks for being here. This is WXYG The GOAT. Thanks for listening to the GOAT Guest DJ Show.